There comes a moment in every believer's journey when life feels unsettled, when the things that once made sense no longer do, when doors begin to close without reason, and when silence seems to replace the voice of direction. That moment is not punishment. It is a divine signal. It is heaven's way of preparing you for transformation. When you notice this stirring in your spirit, this unusual restlessness that you can't explain, it is often the sign that God is shifting you from one season to another. You may not see the full picture yet, but deep within, something tells you that change is near. When God is preparing to change your life, He rarely announces it with clarity or comfort. Instead, He often begins by disrupting what feels familiar. These divine disruptions are not random. They are deliberate signals from heaven that something greater is unfolding behind the scenes. You may start to feel uneasy in situations that once brought you peace. The routines that once satisfied you may suddenly lose their meaning. Relationships that once aligned with your purpose may start to fade or fall apart. It is not rejection, it is redirection. God uses discomfort to push you out of the spaces that no longer serve your growth. When everything starts shifting, it is not because life is breaking you down, because it is building something new within you. Divine disruptions often appear as disappointments. A job that doesn't work out, a plan that fails, a season that suddenly ends. All these moments can feel like loss, but in the unseen realm, they are signs that God is rearranging your path to fit the blueprint of your destiny. Sometimes, if He didn't disrupt you, you would settle. You would grow too comfortable in temporary places and miss eternal purpose. So when your world starts shaking, don't rush to fix it. Pause and discern. What if the shaking is not to destroy you, but to awaken you? What if God is simply making space for what He's about to release? Every divine disruption carries within it the seed of transformation. The discomfort you feel is evidence that the old season is closing and a new one is forming. Like a seed breaking in the ground, your life must go through pressure before it can sprout into purpose. When you feel that tug in your spirit, that quiet voice saying there's more, it's not imagination. It's divine preparation. God disturbs your peace, not to cause pain, but to reveal potential. Every delay, every detour, every denial becomes a divine setup for the next stage of your journey. You may not understand it now, but the moment you begin to notice these disruptions and recognize them as God's movement rather than misfortune, that's when you align yourself with His timing and open the door to transformation. When God prepares to elevate you, He first separates you. This separation is rarely comfortable because it often involves letting go of people, places, and patterns that once defined you. There comes a moment when what used to fit your life suddenly feels out of place. The conversations that once inspired you begin to drain you. The circles that once celebrated you no longer understand you, and the environments that once felt safe now feel restricting. This isn't rejection, it's divine selection. God is setting you apart, pruning you for purpose, and positioning you for promotion. He removes distractions, exposes hidden motives, and creates distance between you and anything that could delay your destiny. What feels like isolation is actually preparation for elevation. In the process of separation, God teaches you to depend on Him alone. When certain voices go silent, it's because He wants you to hear His voice more clearly. When certain doors close, because He's protecting you from paths that would waste your anointing. That would waste your anointing. Every time you lose something that seemed essential, God is revealing that He is all you truly need. Separation is not about losing connection. It's about gaining clarity. It's the process through which God strips away what's temporary so that you can step fully into what's eternal. The loneliness you feel in this is not a curse. It's the stillness required for revelation. It's in the quiet that you begin to see who you really are and what you were called to do. Many resist this process because don't recognize its purpose. They try to hold on to relationships that have expired or chase opportunities that no longer carry grace. But when God separates, He does it with divine intention. He never removes without a reason. He removes to make room. Every elevation demands elimination. Before he can take you higher, he must release you from the weight of what can't go with you. The people who misunderstand your silence, the opportunities that slip through your fingers, the environments that no longer embrace you, all of these are indicators that you're outgrowing a season. The higher you go, the fewer voices you can carry, because not everyone is assigned to your next level. When you find yourself surrounded by confusion, unable to make sense of what God is doing, it's not a sign that He has left you. It's often proof that is leading you into a deeper level of faith. Confusion becomes the classroom where faith is tested and strengthened. God allows moments of uncertainty to detach you from your need to understand everything before you trust Him. When your plans stop working, when the answers don't come, when you pray and the silence lingers, that's when God whispers, "Will you still believe me?" Faith doesn't grow in clarity, it grows in mystery. It's in the fog of confusion that your spiritual sight sharpens, forcing you to rely on God's character rather than your comprehension. And confusion humbles the heart. It strips away pride and self-reliance, reminding you that you are not in control. When God allows you to lose your sense of direction, it's because He's teaching you to walk by trust, not by sight. He knows that understanding too soon would limit what He wants to reveal later, so He hides the why to strengthen your yes. Every unanswered question, every delayed promise, every uncertain moment is forming something powerful within you. A faith that stands even when nothing makes sense. God uses confusion not to punish, but to prepare. He doesn't want your faith to depend on circumstances. He wants it anchored in His unchanging nature. During seasons of confusion, your emotions may tell you that nothing is happening, but heaven is often most active when earth feels silent. The storm that seems chaotic to you is perfectly ordered in God's plan. Sometimes He conceals His hand so that your trust can mature. If He showed you the full picture, If he showed you, you would lean on knowledge instead of dependence. So he allows the unknown to draw you closer. The path of faith is rarely straight. It twists, it turns, and it tests. But confusion is the soil where revelation grows. It breaks the illusion of control and forces your heart to listen. In that surrender, you begin to see that the fog was not meant to blind you, but to guide you toward a deeper awareness of who God truly is. Before every major breakthrough, there is always a breaking. It is a divine principle woven into the fabric of every believer's journey. God allows seasons of breaking to refine what is impure, to strengthen what is weak, and to reshape what is misaligned with His purpose. The breaking feels painful. Feels painful because it exposes what you didn't know needed healing. It strips away false securities, dismantles pride, and confronts everything in you that resists surrender. You begin to realize that before God promotes you, He must first purify you. Every broken piece of your story becomes raw material in the hands of the Creator. What you see as breaking, heaven sees as molding. The very moments that seem to destroy you are actually forming the foundation for your next level. When God allows the breaking, it's never without purpose. He breaks what's brittle so He can rebuild it stronger. He interrupts your plans not to harm you, but to prepare you. Think of how the potter reshapes the clay. He presses, molds, and sometimes even crushes it to ensure it can hold the glory it's meant to carry. In the same way, God allows pressure so that when the blessing comes, you won't crumble under its weight. The breaking season tests your endurance, reveals your faith, and deepens your dependence on God. You may weep, question, or even feel forgotten, but every tear is watering the soil of your transformation. What feels like the end is often the preparation for a beginning greater than you imagined. The breaking also separates the genuine from the temporary. It reveals who and what truly belongs in your destiny. When God is about to bless you, He first ensures that your heart can handle it. The pain you endure today will become the wisdom you walk in tomorrow. And once the breaking is complete, the breakthrough always follows. God never wastes pain. He turns it into power. He never allows loss without a plan to restore. So if you feel broken beyond repair, remember, broken vessels still carry oil. The pressure you're under is not meant to destroy you, but to release what's inside of you. Your breaking is the birthplace of your breakthrough. And your surrender is the doorway to divine transformation